Jay Sanderson and Dan Davies in Bozeman. Bobcat Stadium on Cap on Cancer Day was awash in pink, and they saw Montana State come away with a 28-14 victory over Idaho State. Montana State is now 4-4 overall, 4-2 in the Big Sky. Montana State wins back-to-back games for the first time this season, gets to 2 games above 500 in conference play for the first time since 2014. And Dan, for the second week in a row, the defense in the second half was the key to the win.
Just great adjustments, Jay, in the second half. Not only by the defense, but the offense came up with some nice adjustments. And again, got to credit the Bobcat coaches for getting the personnel in the right places at the right time with all the injuries that they've had.
Montana State got a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter to take a 14-0 lead. In the second quarter, Idaho State found some success, particularly running the ball. Their offensive line, Jeff Choate had warned everybody all week that their offensive line would be able to move people, and they did. It was 14 apiece at halftime after a couple of Idaho State touchdowns. But in the second half, something changed. The adjustments Montana State made in the third and fourth quarter were significant. And then in the fourth quarter, boy, what a quarter it was. Mac Bignell adds another chapter to his legendary Bobcat career. The program's first pick six since 2014. The other defensive captain, Bryson McCabe, put an exclamation point on the game with another interception. But, Dan, you just can't say enough about the resilient nature of these guys to hang tough, to take the coaching that they gave them at halftime and make the changes.
Yeah, and when you come back and get that confidence and have some good things happen to you, it just compounds and builds and builds and builds. So there are a lot of good things going to happen here from Bobcat football from here on out.
Chris Murray offensively, 10 of 20 passing, 231 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He also carried it for somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 yards. Nick Lassane had a nice day, 83 yards on the ground. He also had that big 77-yard reception in the first half that nearly went for a touchdown. It did set up a score, but Nick Lassane all the way back, it seems, at 100% after missing the first 4 games.
Yeah, he brings that quickness, and then you got Troy Anderson that got that speed on the outside, more of a slashing type runner, and I see him getting better every week as well.
Well, Montana State, we talked about it earlier in the week, needed to win out to have a chance to get into the playoff mix. They get the first win at home, beating Idaho State today. Next week, Dan, a good Kennesaw State team, the best team that Montana State fans have never heard of. The Owls are 7-1, winners on Saturday over Presbyterian 28-0. They've not lost since their season opener. They'll come in on a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, and it's going to be a different type of football. Bobcat fans are going to enjoy seeing this flex bone. It's not the spread and all that type of thing, but they're athletic. They've got a great quarterback that can run it, and he's very deceptive with the football as well.
The Bobcats will think about that game later. They get till midnight to celebrate this one tonight. A winner on the Cap on Cancer Day. The final score, Montana State 28, Idaho State 14. With Dan Davies, I'm Jay Sanderson for MSUBobcats.com.